It's time for Declare Your Independence with Ernest Hancock.
Welcome back to Declare Your Independence with me, Ernest Hancock, here in Phoenix, Arizona, where we're talking about, stuff. The economy. We had John Lott on in the first hour. I was really looking forward to that, but I'm just like, man, I'm so tired of being BS'd all the time. You know, they'll never bring up the inflationary aspect of money supply and how it's going to affect prices and what we can do about it. They talk about, it's a Republican-Democrat thing. It's an Obama, George Bush thing. It's like we're going to save $100 billion here. We advocate $100 billion. We're going to cut $100 billion. In a week, they already increased the debt $100 billion. Yay. Then we have Obama in the State of the Union. What does he say? We're going to decrease it $400 billion, $500 billion, heck, $1 trillion over 10 years. Big freaking deal. That's just the deficit, not the debt. We have a debt of trillions and trillions and trillions, not even counting the entitlements. They're talking about the deficit, how much they're coming up short on their, monthly bills, how much more debt they're going into. We're going into debt at a slower rate. Yay. They don't even want to touch the empire. Not talking about it. Nope. Got Donald Trump up here saying we're going to take that empire and go make OPEC sell us cheaper oil. Ooh. Seriously, we want to, go chest to chest with China? Are you stupid? They don't have enough people. Heck, they got more geniuses in China than we got people in the United States. They're whatever billion people there. I'm just, only advantage we have that we've ever had over the entire planet in the history of humanity was our support of individual rights. That is what made us great. That is what gave us enormous prosperity. That is what created a standard of living unrivaled in human history. That. They don't even address it. All right. It's going to come out. It's going to be neon flashing freaking obvious. But, we go through, we all learn. Pay attention. We're going to learn. Well, here's some more Donald Trump.
He phrased that, or by the way you phrased it, I think there's a very distinct possibility that things will get worse, yes.
All right. Are you predicting inflation at this point? Is inflation a real threat in your view?
I think the biggest threat is the fact that our jobs are being stolen by other countries. I don't think inflation's a bigger threat. I think that the fact is we're not going to have any jobs here pretty soon. Somebody that I know very well is buying an airplane, and the airplane's being made in Brazil. Think of it, Brazil. And the reason they're buying it is because they're getting a big tax credit. Now, the plane's going to cost $3 million. He's getting a $1.2 million tax credit in the United States. So he's buying a plane in Brazil, made in Brazil with Brazilian workers, because he's getting a tax credit in the United States. That's just one of hundreds of things. Is it insane?
You've been a patriotic American for some time. I know that you wave the U.S. flag so proudly in front of your home here in South Florida. And
many other places, including over the Pacific Ocean, where I have a tremendous club, and over the Potomac River, where I have lots of tremendous assets, and I wave the flag whenever I can.
What is it about this country that's so special to you? And why do you care so much? Why run?
Because I love the country, and I've done well in the country. My business has never been better because I've made some good decisions. It shouldn't be good. It should be terrible because a lot of other businesses are terrible.
What is this, an infomercial?
Very good and very talented decisions.
She paid by him?
I love the country. I hate what's happening to the country. In 12 years, China will take over as the world's great leading economic power, if not sooner. And the way we're going, this country will not be a great country as it was anymore. And that's very, very sad to me. So many bad things are happening. Recently I read, and this is a little thing, but it's really just emblematic of what's going on. $52 million of cash, a suitcase, was given by somebody, nobody knows who, I guess a colonel or a general, I want to know who these people are, was given to Afghanistan to be paid off to various places in Afghanistan. Now, this is cash. This isn't we're writing a check. The money turned out to go to Dubai, which is Middle Eastern but having lots of problems. Dubai's having a lot of problems. So the 52 million in cash, which might have been 100 million before everybody was stealing it, ends up in Dubai, but it was meant for Afghanistan. And I'm trying to figure, who is the colonel or the person, maybe it's a general, that signs to okay 52 million in a suitcase to be brought over? I want to get to know this guy because I could have a lot of fun with him. And I want to know, how rich is that colonel? You know, I have things where they're cash businesses, and I hire accountants to watch that people don't steal. And then I hire other accountants to watch them, that my accountants don't get paid off by the people that are stealing. And with all of that, they still try and steal. Now, who's the man that approves $52 million in cash in a suitcase? You tell me. There's so much money, there's so much waste going on in this country, and it's destroying the country.
Just how serious are you about considering whether to run or not? Where are you in the thinking process right now?
Well, I think you can see that I'm very serious. Number one, I wouldn't be here. Somebody said, oh, I'm promoting The Apprentice. That's a lot of nonsense. I don't need to promote. The Apprentice is in its 11th season. It's done phenomenally. It was actually, during many evenings, the #1 show on television. It's been a great, I don't need to promote The Apprentice. I don't need to come here to wonderful West Palm Beach, Florida, to do this interview unless I am seriously considering. And I can tell you, I don't want to do it. I'm loving my business. I'm having a lot of fun. I hate what's happening to this country. I hate seeing this country ripped off by every other smart nation. I say smart nation. China, India, Mexico. You look at what's going on, the jobs that are pouring into Mexico. And we give them incentive to move people out of Iowa. Newton, Iowa got destroyed by Mexico. They took the plant, they had incentives from this government, and they built the plant in Mexico. And it wiped out a town called Newton, Iowa. So it's very sad. And it's not hard. It's not that hard. It's common sense. It's business. It's common sense.
So if you announce, when would you announce?
I would probably announce sometime during the month of June.
Why June?
You're not allowed, this is the laws of this nation, you're not allowed to announce if you're doing a television show. And my show is 2 hours on Sunday night for weeks. So I'd probably announce during the month of June. Now, the problem is if I announced, then everybody else running would have to be given 2 hours of primetime network television. So I think it's ridiculous, but you're not allowed to announce if you have a television show that's currently running.
All right, Mr. Trump, thanks so much for being here. We'll have more with Donald Trump in...
Okay. I guess by June he's going to be announcing he's running. Because what happens in June, I think it's May, there's going to be the first, it's Fox or CNN, one's May and one's June. So would Trump want to have participation in one of those? What about the second one? And will you have a comment on whatever? It might be better that he not. You have the talking heads get up there and play, I'm running for Republican, whatever. Gary Johnson's been here at least 2 or 3 times here in Arizona speaking to different groups about it. We've had him on in studio for 2 hours. You know, and I was one of his first interviews that he did talking about him running for president of the United States. If you go on, just do a Google search, Ernest Hancock, Gary Johnson, you'll see the interview. And I gave him what for, man. I went hardcore on him. You know, tell me about. And he did okay, but I mean, he's no Ron Paul. But, you know, to have him up there against Donald Trump, there's a nice difference there. You know, we'll see what happens. So I don't think Donald is going to be coming out a lot better if he's in the early debates. He'd be much better than sitting on the sidelines saying, yep, I can't talk now, the law, okay? So he will come in and have his commentary after the first one in May, maybe in the second one in June, and then he'll start participating in the other debates. What's going to get discussed? I think history is going to start being made again here in the United States before then. It's going to dictate what gets discussed, regardless of what they want discussed. They're not dealing with this inflation thing enough. And it's going to be chest out aircraft carrier against OPEC and China is not going to be the answer. And the more he says that stupid crap, the more it's going to demonstrate how little he understands. So let him keep yapping. We'll talk to you tomorrow. We'll have Jordan Page on tomorrow. Oh, and we got Jordan Page is going to be talking about his new album and his new baby Veronica. We'll see you tomorrow. Uncovering the secrets and exposing the lies. That's what readers of freedomsphoenix.com get every day. Readers of freedomsphoenix.com are constantly provided the information that detail the real news between the lines of propaganda about government policies and the true relationship we all have with coercive governments. Learn the true condition of our economy, innovations and technological breakthroughs in energy, health, computer science, and space travel. Learn the truth well before it's admitted to in the lamestream media, the media that is so last century. Corporate media has evolved into nothing more than distributors of government propaganda, but we now have a fantastic alternative. FreedomsPhoenix.com provides constant news updates on the issues that affect our lives in the most important ways. Our liberty and our property are under constant attack, and FreedomsPhoenix.com provides the understanding behind the propaganda while encouraging the participation of our readers. Join us at FreedomsPhoenix.com. That's freedoms with an S, Phoenix.com. FreedomsPhoenix.com, where the revolution between the ears has already matured.